Now, good afternoon to all of you. So now we are very much near to the actual visit of NBA accreditation. So generally, in NBA accreditation, the student outcomes are very important. So the entire process of evaluating the NBA, that is divided into number of criterias. Now, in criteria 3, generally the course outcomes and program outcomes are focused. So first of all, this is the outline of my presentation. Overview and score structure, CO-PO correlation, CO attainment, and PO-PSO attainment. So now, first of all, I want to say that any student who will take the admission in diploma. So in diploma, electronics communication, that is our program. Whenever any student will study the 3-year diploma program of electronics and communication, then he will study total 40 courses. So after completion of 3-year program, what he will get, that will be the program outcome. Now, in that 3-year course, in that program, he will study 40 courses. In every course, what he learns, that will be the course outcome. In parallel to the CO and PO, in every department, some specialization is there. So, program specific outcomes are also mentioned. So, after completion of 3-year diploma, and a student will get program specific outcome. So generally in criteria number 3, these 3 outcomes are very important: course outcome, program outcome, and program specific outcome. So in my presentation, now first of all, here the weightage of the marking for every point. What is the weightage for the course outcome? Then what is the COPO mapping? So the entire scheme of the marking, that is, so for criteria number 3, COPO and PSO evaluation, the total marking is 100, and it is divided into the several parts. Suppose say define CO, then mapping with CO and PO, then entire program articulation matrix. So these are the weightage of mark. Now, here in my presentation, generally we know the POs. In any diploma engineering program, 7 PO are there that we know very well, and already that we have covered in presentation criteria 1 and criteria 2. But now here I have mentioned 2 PSOs, because in diploma electronics and communication, in our department, PSO 1 that focus on demonstrate proficiency in installation and problem solving of electronics communication equipment. Our second PSO, that is proficiency in specialized software package and coding for analysis of electronic engineering system and PCB design. Now here, in criteria number 3, as per the curriculum, total 40 courses are there, and here our CAY is 2025-26. So that's why for the batch 2021, 22 and 23, we have calculated the course outcome and program outcome for all 40 courses. Now these are the full form. Course outcome, PO is a program outcome, PSO is a program specific outcome, already I have discussed. Now these are the common POs of our diploma program that will be common for every program. These are the PSOs which I have already discussed early. Now first of all, course outcome. CO is a course outcome. Course outcome, CO is a statement. Suppose in any program, there are number of courses are there. Now any student who will study in that course. Either he study some theoretical portion, practical portion, and then we make the evaluation. So after completion of theoretical and practical, he will learn something. So what he will get after studying that, so that is known as the CO. Now generally for CO there are some guidelines are given. CO that should be between 3 to 6. Now CO, we cannot keep any random CO which cannot be measurable, observable and aligned with the PO. It means that suppose if we take the example of say fundamental of electronics, so in that COs of the FE subject that should be in line with the POs, because here our program is engineering. So it not should be aligned with some say another type of medical course or somewhat like that. It means that your CO that should be aligned with the engineering, then they should be measurable, because you should have to further make the correlation between CO and PO. So that's why it should be measurable using different methods and observable. Now, see, suppose we are any course coordinator, so we define the CO. So there may be a challenge, any another course coordinator can define another COs, but actually whenever you become this course coordinator and you are defining the CO, then you should have to give the justification why I have kept this CO. So you must have to give justification for preparing the COs. So in our department, from beginning of the every semester, our department and our institute that is affiliated to GTU. So generally we follow the curriculum of GTU, and generally we are going for NBA 2021. In 2021, GTU has revised the syllabus, and whenever the syllabus is published on the GTU, then in our department, we have make a one committee, and that committee has defined course coordinators, and then every course coordinator has defined CO. Actually, CO are given in the curriculum, but course coordinator has made the analysis. Either the CO are required to improve, then they have finalized the CO. So here I am giving some examples of these kind of COs. Now here I have taken CO from every semester. Suppose in our first semester we have a fundamental of electronics. So here 5 COs are there. Now this is for digital electronics. So here in every course, generally the COs can be 3 to 5, not more than 5. Now these COs we have taken from the GTU curriculum, so obviously they are aligned. CO are the one statement. It means after completing this course, what the student will learn. So obviously that follow the Bloom's taxonomy. And here, as an example, I have kept only 6 COs of the 6 courses, but actually in our department, starting of the semester, we make the same practice. We first define the course coordinator, they check the syllabus and check the COs. If they are correct, then we are using this for the attainment. So this is the same practice for second semester, third semester, fourth, fifth and sixth. So these are the COs. Now, actually as per the NBA, there is some practice for to define the course ID. So here for course we take C. Now suppose I take the example of LIC subject, linear integrated circuit. So generally this subject comes in second year. So here the first digits 2 that indicate the year of the course, second year, fourth is a semester, and last one is a number of the subject. It is a 5th subject of the 4th semester. So in this way, this practice we have make. Now, after completion of the CO, means any course coordinator has finalized the CO, Then the second task, that is a COPO matrix. Because see, we are teaching the student for particular course, so we know the CO, but our CO that should be mapped with our program. So COPO relation that should be there. So that's why. But generally what happen in GTU curriculum, already this matrix is given. But in that matrix, PSO1 and PSO2 are not given. So in our department, the same committee which has finalized the CO, they will also check the curriculum of GTU, and if requires some modification, then they will modify some values of the matrix. So here in this matrix, say for this subject, the relation CO1 or with PO1, that is 3. Now here, the values of 3, 2, 1 which indicate the relation of CO with PO, that is highly related, it is moderately related, or it is low related. It means low, medium and high. These three are the category. Now, here one example is on. Similarly, for all the 40 courses, we have finalized the COPO matrices and we have derived one average value for that subject.
How this average is derived?
Yes. So, to get the average value, so CO1 map with PO1, that is value is 3, CO2 is 3. So we sum all these 5 CO values and we divide by the number of COs. So here you can say that here 5 times 3, so that will be 15, and divided by 5, so we get 3. So in this way, we have calculated the average values. Yes, for PSO, here in this PSO, suppose if we consider that here one dash is there. Now the important thing is that it is not necessary that every CO that should be related with the PO. So if there is no relation between CO and PO, then we put dash mark. Dash mark is nothing relation, no correlation is there. So in that case, for to calculate 2.5, see here total, if we make the total of these 4 values only, it will be 2 plus 3 is a 5, then 3 is a 8, then 2 is a 10, 10 divided by 4, so you will get 2.5. Okay. So in this case, it means that whenever the value is dash, means no relation, so you should not have to consider that in the division. So in this way, for all the 40 courses, we have derived the average value, because every student who enter in the diploma, he will study for 40 courses. So we have tabulated this all 40 value and we have determined the average of entire program, and maybe we are targeting that values. Okay. So now next we go for our next point, that is 3.2, that is attainment of the course outcome. Now in any course, suppose student have completed the study and after result and result is declared, then we can calculate the outcome of that course. So for that calculation, mainly which method we are using. So for the calculation of the course outcome, actually we are following 2 methods, direct method and indirect method. Because only we are not taking only direct tool of the assessment, some indirect tool are also covered. So, and the weightage of the direct method, that is 80%, and weightage of the indirect is 20%. Now here I want to show which tools we are using for the direct attainment or assessment. So these chart indicate the tools which are used for the assessment of COs for direct and indirect. So here we can say that The final CO attainment can be calculated using direct and indirect, 80% and 20%. Now here, the direct 80% which is divided into theory and practical, two components. Now, in theory, student will give 70 mark university exam and 20 mark progressive assessment and also 10 mark of micro project that are also considered in the theoretical portion. Then in practical, whenever any student attend the laboratory of any course, then we have a two component. One component that is its progressive assessment. Means after completion of every practical, we assess the manual and his skill, and then we make the progressive assessment. And after completion of that course, we conduct either a viva or some questionnaire, or we take some practical exam. Then we get ECE marks and semester examination for practical subjects. Now, these are the direct assessment tools. So now we can consider that in our course attainment, we have 4 tools for assess any CO. First is a theory GTU exam, progressive assessment theory, progressive assessment practical, and end semester exam. Now remaining 20 marks, we are taking the course exit survey. After completion of every semester, we make a one survey from the student for the course. Now, for this course exit survey, actually we prepare one course exit survey format. So generally in that format, 5 questions are there, and first question for CO1, second question for CO2, and student give the mark, and we summarize that, and we determine the total attainment given by student in 20%. And after 80 and 20 are combined, and we make the 100% calculation. These are the same thing which I have discussed. These are the process or tools which are used for the direct assessment, indirect assessment. Yes, but main thing is there, here in course exit survey, we are using some questions which are should be in the Bloom's taxonomy. Now this is the process, but actually I am not wasting the time for because we are going from each and every step. So now first of all, see, these are the components. So actually I have discussed about the different tools. So here I have mentioned the different component, means what will be the weightage of the university exam. So I have tabulated, but I give one demo. So it will be very much clear for this component weightage for everything. These are the same thing, only practical are there. Now this is the very important thing. First, we have defined the CO. We make the CO-PO relation. We design our method of assessment, direct, indirect, everything is final. But the important thing for to set the level. Because what happened, at different institute, different areas, it may be happen that the level of the student will be different. So in our area and in our region, first of all, we have make some survey. So for we are going for 21 batch for NBA. So we have taken previous 3-year batch results, 2018, 2019 and 2020. So this is particular for the VLSI subject. We have make this type of survey. So from how I make this survey? So first of all, from the result, these are the grade are converted into mark. Now here in 2020, one student secure AB grade, one student secure BB grade, and 2 students secure BC grade. So in this way, total 4 students are pass out and they secure this grade. Then these grade are converted into mark here, 80, 70 and 120. So here I get 270 total marks and my students are number of 4. So 270 divided by 4. So I get this result 67.5% for the 2020 batch. So it means that I can say that for the particular course VLSI in 2020, I get 67.5% result of my student. Similarly, 2029 we get 50.4, and once again in 2018 70%, and we make the average. So it means that we conclude that from our last year result, our student at least can secure 65 to 70 marks. So that's why we have set our target as a 70 as our target. Now general thing is there. See here. Yes. So now what I actually want to say, see here, from this analysis, I have set my maximum target, that is 70%. So I want to focus on this target. It means that, see, so for generally every course attainment, generally they can be measured in the value of 3 to 1. Why? Because already at the design of CO, PO and correlation, we have made the relation in the sense of 3 to 1. Right? So these values are in form of 3 to 1. So actually we have make the survey and we have finalized the percentage. Our student can get 70 result near to 70%. So maximum attainment level can be 3. So that's why the maximum maximum level we have set as a 70%. Now another thing is there, why we have set the minimum level as a 50%, because in generally our GTU results 40% which is the criteria for passing the student. So at least beyond that we take the 50% as our minimum target. So in this way 3 to 1, it means we have set our benchmark as a 70% as a 3, 60% as a 2 and 50% as a 1. And in first and second year, our benchmark is slightly different, because in first year and second year, students should have to study some general subjects, maths and some difficult subjects are there. So that's why we kept our target level as a 60, 50 and 40 for the values of 3 to 1. Now, after finalizing this, now I explain the process of CO attainment. So first of all, here for one subject, that is a linear integrated circuit. So for that subject, suppose in my 2022 batch, total 7 student appears and here result are entered. Now first of all, how I have calculated, so that I explain. So for that, please open the Excel sheet. That is in my folder presentation 1. And that Excel file is 4341105 2022 batch. 22 batch. Now please open the sheet of weightage. Weightage, yes. So now first of all, this is one tool which is used for the CO attainment. So in this tool, for linear integrated circuit of 4 semester, code is 4. Now first of all, we should have to finalize the weightage. So first of all, we have discussed that there are 4 components are there. ECE, that is a 70 mark theory. Then mid, means progressive assessment, then internal progressive assessment practical, and this is ESE component. These 4 components are there. So first we finalize about the weightage. So here, first of all, the values of 46.67, how it comes? See, whenever any student, suppose here in linear integrated circuit, student should have to give 70 mark theory exam, so 70 marks, then 20 marks of PA1, 20 marks of PA2, so average of PA1, PA2 that will be 20, and 10 marks are added, so 30 marks are there. So total 100 mark theory paper he should have to attend. In practical, 2 component are there, 25, 25. So total 50 marks of practical is there. So 150, so total weightage of this subject is 150. So now if you divide this and if we see here in ESCTH, the 46.67%, how it comes? Total weightage is 150, but university exam of 70 marks. So 70 divided by 150, that will give you the value 46.67. Now the second component, that is mid. Now you tell me, what will be the value in marks for the PA mid component? 30, 20 PA1, 20 PA2, it will be average, so total 20, 10 marks of projects. So that's why 30 divided by 150, that you get 20 marks. Similarly, here 25 divided by 150, 20 divided by 150. So here the main means this 46.67, all this weightage, it means that here in this sheet, marks are converted into the weightage. Now we go for the first table of theory papers, GTU. So during this entire course, we cover 5 COs. In that, what will be the weightage of the first CO? So in our curriculum, the chapter number 1 that map with the CO number 1. So what will be the weightage of the chapter number 1 in case of math? So I request Mittal madam, what is the weightage of chapter number 1?
14 out of 17.
It is 14. So if you divide 14 by 70, means weightage of the first CO, that is 14 mark, divide by 70, so you will get 20. That is percentage. It means that here all marks are converted into the weightage. Second chapter of 14 marks, so that's why it is a 20. Third chapter may be 18 marks, so that's why it is 25.71. Then fourth chapter 16, so weightage is 22.86, and last chapter of 8 marks, so 8 divided by 70. Yeah, so that's why we get this weightage for university exam. Similarly, here for mid, internal and viva, you can calculate the weightage, means for how many marks you have assessed the student. So please convert the mark, divide by total marks, so you will get the weightage for every component of that CO in that component of your assessment. So now is it clear? Yes.
Why do that delay for 98 got 100%?
Yes, actually what happened, whenever we divide any value, so there is a rounding error. Actually we have not round up it, so that's why it is giving a error, because here actually this value is 16.66, but here we can make 67. If we make 67 there, means we make round up, then it will be 90, means 100%. So it is a 0.01 error is there. Oh. Yes. Now after finalizing this table, we go for the list of student and mark sheet. List of student, sheet of list of student and mark sheet. So now during my course of linear integrated circuit, suppose we verify for any one student, say the first student, that is a Lokhandwala Mohammad Tawkir 002 enrollment number. So here, see, first point I want to tell that here this university marks are converted, university grade are converted into mark Okay. Yes. So here this first column, how it comes? So actually in previous sheet, we have entered the university grade. So university grade are converted into marks. So here students secure 42 marks out of 70. Then for this first component, so now I want to tell that how I have substitute the value of 11, 11, 10. So 11, that is a mark of my first CO. So in PA1 exam, I have asked the 7 marks for CO1. So 7 mark. Then in project, we have a total 10 marks, but here 5 CO are there. So actually for this calculation, we double the marks of the project, that is 20. It means the one weightage that will be 4 marks in CO1. So that's why 7 mark that I have asked in PA1 and 4 mark of project. So total 11 mark is the my total weightage for the assessment of CO1. And from that student get 5 mark. So now here in PA1, in this PA1 student get 5 mark in this first question. So that is of my CO1. And actually the component of micro project is 0 in that case. Now for the second question, that is for my CO2, that is he get 3 mark. So once again it is 3 mark because its micro project component is 0 in this case. And third is CO of third question, that is a 4 mark. So that is a third CO is 4 mark. Now for the assessment of fourth and fifth CO, we have taken progressive assessment 2 and remaining 4 and 4 mark of PO4 and PO5. But once again we see in progressive assessment 2 in CO4 he get 8 mark only. So 8 mark, its micro component is 0. Uh, so please open the another file of LIC subject of 2023 batch 23. हाँ એટલે see actually why I am explaining everything, so no, but actually why I explain you, because I have checked the attainment of every subject, so I know in which subject how marks are entered. Suppose in case of Mittal, yes, actually in case of Mittal ma'am, so actually I understand that in that type of presentation only we discuss that we are entering the university mark, university grade, they are converted into mark, and whatever the internal components we have entered in case of, in form of marks, and all the marks are converted into weightage and it is calculated, that I know. But see, whenever I want to prove any CO attainment, so in that case I should have to show this supplementary. So in that case what happened, the my mark are 11, right? But I have asked a 7 marks only in supplementary. So the 4 marks of micro project that I should have to tell in that case is okay. Yes. So now we go for this seat. So the weightage remains same. Now once again we go for the list of student. So in case of, suppose I expand for this batch, I have a one student whose enrollment number is 7, Prajapati Sailesh. So he secured 25.9 marks in university. Now, in progressive assessment 1, this student gets 6.5 mark, and total 5 mark he secure in his project, and it is divided in each criteria in CO equally. So that's why 1 mark is added. So 6.5 plus 1, 7.5. 3.5 in CO2 plus 1 mark, 4.5. 1 mark in CO3 in PA1 plus 1, so 2 mark. In progressive assessment 2, 4 CO4 he gets 7 marks, so 1 mark of micro project, and here 9 marks means 8 mark of PA2 and 1 mark of micro project. Now, this is our practice of laboratory manual assessment for CO attainment. Now, please show the PA internal component. Now, for the practical assessment component, so total 25 mark. So now here in this course, total 14 practicals are there. Their weightage are out of 25, but I have down converted this into the weightage. So CO1 having a weightage of 4 mark, CO2 having a weightage of 5 mark, CO3 4 mark, 7 mark and 5. So these are the weightage. Now this student, say enrollment number 7, last one, he get in CO1 3 mark, then 4 mark out of 5 mark, then in CO3 he get 3 mark, then 6 mark in CO4, and in 5th CO he get 5 mark. So in this way total 25 marks and he secured 21 mark. So individual, this is the marking. Now they are converted into the weightage, and
Also, we can also mention that out of the marks we have assigned based on the number of practicals.
yes,
Out of marks are assigned.
Out of double practical.
Yes, sir. Correct.
yes.
અને out of જે છે સર એ આપણે out of marks are based on the number of practicals.
Now these are the vivas. So generally 25 marks of viva equally divided in 5 COs, so 5 mark. So this student last row, he get 3 mark out of 5, 4 mark out of 5, 3 mark out of 5 in CO3, 5 mark out of 5 and 5 out of 5 in this. Now we check the weightage for any one component. Say ESE-TH seat. So here this indicate the weightage of the student. So these marks are converted into weightage. Now we go for CO1 seat. See, it means that we have entered the theory marks, mid marks, ESE and viva, and then converted into the weightage. Now in CO1, these 4 components are added: theory, mid, viva and internal. And now the weightage of the last student, he gets 7% mark, 15% mark, 10% and 12%, he get 44% mark out of 70. So if you divide 44 with 70, then you will get 55% total weightage, and our range of 55 that lie in 2 benchmark. So that's why his attainment is 2. Similarly, for this course, we can calculate the attainment of every student. Now please open the sheet of direct CO attainment. પાછળ હશે direct CO. So in this way, here we can say that our target is at least 2 students get the 50% result. So here 6 out of 6, 5 students get. So in first CO is attained. Similarly, for second CO, 6 out of 6 students attain, so 100% attainment. So this is just for understanding, means at least 6 students appear, but 3 students get the marks above 50, then the attainment will be yours. So here in this subject, in first CO, 5 students attaining In second CO 6, 4, 6 and 6. So the 100% attainment is there. Now we go for the, which one? Yes, target 2. So that is at our benchmark. So now please go for the weightage sheet. Our benchmark is 2 weightage, sheet of weightage. So please scroll down. Yes. So here this is the settlement of the benchmark. So as per the analysis, our this target 3 that is equal to 60%, then 2 that is equal to 50% student, and 1 that is 40%. So from the previous 3-year batch result survey, we have set this target 60, 50, 40, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now please go for the indirect CO. Now, for this indirect CO, so randomly I have taken one course exit survey. So for LIC subject, after completion of this course, we have taken this course exit survey. So here in this course exit survey, student has given the marks. Now here 5 levels are there. The first level is excellent, second level is very good, third one is good, fourth one is average, and fifth one is poor. So in this format we have taken the course exit survey. Now this course exit survey, to convert into the mark or measurable format, just we have converted this excellent, it means you understand 3 mark. Very good means 2.5 mark. Good means 2 mark, and average means 1.5, and fifth one poor, that is 1 mark. So it means that you can understand that Silas has given 3 mark in first CO number 1 question. It means that he has given excellent practice in your CO 1. So he has given 3 mark in your CO number 1. Similarly 2.5, and you can easily map these values from the course exit survey. Now,
On which date is survey taken?
so actually generally after means whenever our semester end, so end of the semester, last day we can say. So generally this is the survey of say 23rd batch. So the first semester, this is the one example of mathematics survey. So 9th November 2023. So this may be the last date, means at the last week of the semester we are taking this type of.
Is it included in your academic calendar?
Actually, the feedback are there. Now we have a different type of feedback. So in feedback, whenever we go for the course, particular course, so for assessing any faculty, we have this type of practice, a course exit survey after completion of every course, and after completion of one batch of program, we are taking one program exit survey. So actually course exit survey and program exit survey, actually they are on the, depends on the department, and they cover in the policy of the department. So they are taking this type of courses and programs. Uh, So now here for the attainment we have a 2 method, direct and indirect. So from the student marks we have calculated the direct attainment. From the survey and feedback we have calculated indirect. Now the weightage of direct is 80% and 20% this indirect. We have combined this into the final CO. Please open sir final CO sheet. So this is the attainment of this subject, say 2.48 in CO1, and similarly for CO2, CO3, CO4 and CO5. So this is my entire process of CO attainment. Now, how we get the program attainment? So for program attainment, now please open the COPO attainment sheet. So here we have studied one example of LIC subject. So that is a one course. Similarly, for entire 40 courses, we calculate the CO attainment and we combine that. Now the next, my point, that is 3.3.1, that is a PO attainment, program outcome attainment. Now generally PO attainment that can be calculated after completion of 3-year diploma of any batch. In between we cannot calculate. So 2021, that is a entry level for any batch number 1. Then in 2024, when the result of the final year 6th semester of 21 batch, if it declares, then we can calculate the PO attainment. So now for PO attainment, so already here in this sheet I can show that thus, values of the CO attainment are directly derived from the previous set of CO attainment. So, these are 2.48, that is the attainment of CO1. Now, here in dark 3, see 3, 2, 2, 2. So, actually these are the actual articulation metrics of that subject. This should be the attainment for that subject. It means that the COPO relation, that should be 3. But from this 2.48, from the result and all that, these students secured 2.5. It means that if we divide 2.5 by 3, then we can say how much percentage he attained for PO1, right? Now here, one thing is there, in PO attainment, any student cannot get 3 out of 3 because, see, at least any one component may be less, then it cannot get 3 because it not may be the practice in theory he gets 70 to 70 mark, 25 to 20, means any, in rare case any student getting 10 marks, then in his matrix it will be 3. Here suppose I can say that in last CO, if we can see, here the attainment level is very nearest to 3. It is 2.88. So that's why you can see that the value of this PO1 is 2.9. This is 2.9, 2.9, 2.9, 1.9. It means that 98 to 99% attainment he get. So now after this attainment, we make the average of this one. So this will be the average value for that course. So after completion of, now please go on my presentation. So here we learn about the CO attainment. Then we substitute the value of CO attainment with the articulation matrix. So that will give the PO attainment of that subject. So in this way, next, directly go on the PO attainment. This all thing we have covered. Yes, now, next. Yes, before that, yes. So this table, how we get, so actually whatever the attainment average value we have get from the CO attainment tool and the articulation matrix. So here we get the PO attainment, and in green line 2.08, 1.80, these are the PO attainment of this course LIC subject. So in this way we have to, calculated attainment of 40 subjects. And then next, yes, sorry, next, yes. So once again I want to say that this, whenever we calculate the attainment of any one subject, say LIC subject, for 40 subject we calculate and we make the average, then we get the direct values. Now, so this will be the direct attainment of POs. Now this indirect attainment, how we get indirect attainment? So for that we get this type of program exit survey after completion of program, and this excellent, very good, good, average and poor. So actually the this marking scheme are converted into the marks, and then we have calculated, see here we can see 2.43 indirect attainment value. How we get that? So we can say that in PO1, in the question of the PO1, the student feedback, that will be around 2.43. So actually we have calculated total marks and then divided by number of students, and we have calculated this indirect values, and we take the 80% of direct and 20% of indirect, then we can get this final attainment. So this is the final attainment 2.05 are for our batch, say 2021. And here this table, it is not for any one subject. This is PO attainment. So that's why it is for the entire batch. Next. Yes, this is the important thing. Now see, initially we have prepared one matrix. So the average value, this is our target. 2.67, 1.89, and so this is the average, but this target is of 100% value. But generally it may be happen that any student cannot fail, or maybe means 100% any student cannot attain. So in that case, we have set our target as a for say first batch 67%. So the value of the 67% of 2.67, that will be 1.78. So we are targeting this value. So now the first table which indicate the target values for the batch, entry batch 21, 22 and 23, and these are our results. So now the important thing is there in our result, you can say that the PO1 in first batch it is 1.93, second batch 2.04, and in third batch 2.2. So that's why in our case we have increased the level of the attainment, though we are getting the result. Now another thing is there, see, in case of attainment, progressive, PO attainment means do you attain? See, in case of PO attainment, we cannot get 100%. So how much percentage we get, that is important. So now please Mittal ma'am, please divide this value 2.22, 1.95 by 2.22.
1.85,
Divide by 2.22.
87.80.
Yes, it means that in PO1, 87% PO1 we have attained for the third batch, 2023 batch. So generally in CO, your attainment should be nearest to 3, but in this case it cannot be 100%. So that's why how much percentage you have achieved, that you can summarize. So this is the summary, and here as for our result, obviously for our 3 batches, our result are improved. So this is over from my side. Now, is there any question?